So, hey, are you ready for the giant woman to end all giant woman?
Sure, I guess. Kuzuhamon is the least interesting thing about this episode.
Yeah, this. Okay, so I'll just get right to it. We finally get Gammamon's Mega, and
Awesome.
boy, does this episode need to be like a two-parter, cause like it's such a really cool moment. I feel like nothing.
Uh, That's on you then, I guess. I liked it a lot.
I'm like, oh, we're just doing this against a random monster of the week who just shows out of nowhere, and they just go on like a big thing about impurities that's never been set up before, and our answer is just something that we've never really built up to, and evolution just happens at random. And it's like,
I
alright,
mean,
sure.
isn't that how it usually happens?
Yeah, and
A,
I
a,
hate it.
a Digimon leveled higher than what our heroes currently can deal with shows up, and then they evolve to meet the challenge.
Yeah, at least it's like normally like a character episode or something to some extent. This is like, it doesn't even have anything to do with Hero until the end. It's just because he's like the only one left.
True. I think Ruli gets more screen time than Hero.
Yeah, first off, animation's crazy. This episode and movie all like, holy fuck, yeah. That's the R thing. It's like, I don't want to crap on this episode too much, because it's like, the freaking like episode starts off and it's like the first thing you notice is it gets like right into the plot, and also like everyone looks like a bit off, right? Like everyone seems like a little off mall, like the colors are a bit off, the shang's a bit weird, and that's because the animation in this episode is fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty great.
it legitimately seems like a completely different team was like, specifically told to work on this episode that doesn't usually work on the series. So things look a little off and they have like super good animation.
Yeah. Well, it's probably because they were like, okay, this is the episode with the where the mega appears. We have to have the moment with Sirius Mon look really great, and so why not just do the whole episode?
Yeah, they hired that man.
They hired that man.
That man from Guilty Gear. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. He used his magic to create a great episode.
Is the magic of that man just owning a gun because it's black technology?
No, no, that man and Happy Chaos are two different people.
Okay. Man, Guilty Gear is dumb. I love it. Man, who would win a battle between Happy Chaos and that man?
I think we see that in the freaking story mode of
Okay, that's hilarious,
Strive.
actually.
I mean, well, no, not exactly. I don't
The
remember.
fact that that's a sentence that can exist is the dumbest.
A lot of crazy bullcrap happens in Strive story mode.
Oh yeah. I know it's like there's a mod in freaking Guilty Gear XR where to break through a barrier, Saul has to punch it so hard that he like births a microscopic like quantum universe that like simultaneously explodes on contact.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy and all, but how much you care about Strive story spoilers?
I mean, not a lot, but I kind of don't want to get spoiled too much right now.
Ah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
crazier things have happened since then.
Oh boy. Man, so this episode, Kuzuhamon has just sort of like shown up out of nowhere, completely unprompted, and she's just like, I need to make everyone into dolls and remove their emotions so that they'll be pure and I can get rid of their sins. And once they're finally done and everyone is dolls, I will burn the bodies so that this city will be pure forever.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but it's really not that deep. It's just
You know,
it.
people are stripped of
I don't know.
impurities, they have being boring wood and dull, or better put, dulls. Yeah.
It's a pretty simple like metaphor or whatever. It's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Man, like, I think I saw in the Discord, talking, like, the Digimon spoiler chat, I feel like more than any other episode, this episode needed to be a two-parter. Like, Kazuhamon needed to have some underlings or something we could deal with, and this needed to be a character that was set up over at least, like, 2 episodes for this payoff to be worth it.
Nah. I think they just needed less time of the whatever the impurities bullcrap was.
But that's the entire plot. Without that, you just have Kazuhamon shows up and fights, and then evolution happens.
I didn't say remove it outright. I said decrease it. There's a lot of time in this episode where people are walking through the streets going, impurities, cleanse the impurities, and like cleaning the sidewalk.
Yeah, it's like, you know what would really help this if we had another episode to actually showcase heroes' impurities and show why they're not a bad thing? You know, actually build on the themes, like, do a thing with it, you know? Like, give some time to really escalate the stakes instead of just going from 0 to, like, everyone is gone except for Hero, and now we're just doing a mega battle.
I don't think that's necessary.
I think it was extremely necessary right here. This falls so flat.
In your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, which is the only one that matters.
Like, I don't need a whole psychoanalysis of heroes like inner thoughts to be like, no, like
nah, I'm not saying you that. I'd say like we should have like
make a
built
person
this, yeah.
Make a person who they are or whatever. It's like, I don't know, the little speech at the end is fine, and then we get the mega form and then they fight and it's cool.
I think we had more to like build up the theme, and I think like, you know, we should have had an episode preceding this where everyone sort of like loses like one by one to like build up to Kazuhamon finally appearing and having this big moment, you know? Like, I think we needed way more to this to actually make it work. Like, I was fine enough with Kale Weissmon, because at least that ties into the whole Gammamon thing, kind of. Because, like, Gammamon's gonna, like, transform, and it's a big emotional thing where they have to, like, stop it. This was, like... This really needed, like, more to it. This needed to be connected to literally anything. Like, this feels like the bare minimum of, like, a mega evolution. It's literally like, oh yeah, there's a bad Digimon, but they're strong, so we just do the thing, and then they, like, do the thing. And don't get me wrong, it's a cool moment, and, like, the animation is great, and the new song is, like, killing it, but, like, yeah, story-wise, this needed way more. Yeah.
I think it's fine. Heroes, I mean, I guess not his life technically, but for the most part, Hero's life was in danger, and Weissmon evolved to like deal with it. Like, I don't know.
Let me ask you, what makes this more special than any other time when the characters have, like, you know, been fighting a Digimon and they're about to lose? Like, what makes this more special than when Kale Weissmon was, like, you know, being curb stomped by, like, 3 Antilamon, you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, outside of the evolution, it's like, this could have happened, like, whenever, and it would have, like, had the same effect. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, the writing doesn't, like, you know, support how big of a moment this is supposed to be, right?
Those other moments, weren't the other 2 cast member, like the main characters, like around, like they could have saved him?
Well, kind of, but also they got really close sometimes.
Because in this particular instance, both both Kyo and Ruli have been like had their impurities taken away and turned into dolls or whatever. And so like it was Hiro. Because Kuzuhamon literally says that Hiro's the only human left in the city not turned.
Just out of nowhere, after we just don't see any of the other main characters, like, even attempt to fight back.
They didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, they all just get taken immediately, and it's like, alright, this is really underwhelming. Like, if this is the one time where it's like, all our heroes are down, and this is the only thing we have left, then, like, at least make it feel like it's a real threat. Like, show the other characters, like, failing to beat the big bad, Like, really build up how, like, dangerous this threat is, and why we need a Mega to stop this,
I mean, they need a Mega because Kuzuhamon's a Mega.
Yeah, also, we know that, but it doesn't feel that big.
Also, Ruli and Kyo lose so hard they don't get a chance to try to fight. They just get grabbed.
Yeah, exactly. It's lame. Both Kyo and Ruli have been better-themed Evo episodes. It's just kind of been thematic-wise around Hiro. Yeah, like, Hiro has, like, nothing.
Admittedly, it is dumb that, like, Kuzuhamon just grabs Ruli and Kyo and then, like, materializes to confront Hiro directly. It's like, why did you change how you're doing things at this point?
Yeah, you know what will fix this? Fix this? If we had, like, another episode earlier where there is, like, I don't know, some, like, Daomon or some Yokomar, whatever, like, where the things are. The dark Cubimon, Taomon variations that they had to fight through. And, we had an episode really, like, building up Kazuhamon with her, like, underlings before, Hiro and, like, Gammamon are, like, the last ones left. And then this moment could happen and be like, oh wow, Kazuhamon's such a threat, how are we gonna beat this? And then Mega, right? Like, actually, like, give us something. Give us more, like, like, gravitas and weight to this. Like, make it feel special. Do something,
I don't know. I just feel like dedicating an episode to fighting filler underlings is
dedicate an episode to building up like the villain of your big super transformation moment.
Yeah, because
like you literally just watched through Dragon Ball Z, which is mostly that.
I mean, I'm not even done watching it. I'm on like the last few episodes of the Cell saga or whatever, but
this is like, imagine if like Frieza just showed up in one episode, just killed everyone, and then Super Saiyan happened, and we just cut out the entire arc. Like, that's what this feels like, to like go super hyperbolic here.
Dragon Ball Z isn't the Monster of the Week series.
Yeah, and this should be better than that.
But the thing is, we've known that's how that we've been sitting through this experience for 50-something episodes.
Complaining about this the entire time.
Yeah, which is why I'm like, okay, why would we need that now when we haven't done that ever in this series? Like, I don't know. At this point, it's unrealistic.
I don't care. I want more. I want this episode to be better. I want to, like, I want the big Mega Evolution to be really cool and special and, like, have, like, narrative weight behind it, I want to just be like, oh, hey, random Edamon just shows up. I guess we have to go Melgreymon, and then it just happens. Like, I want the build-up. I want to feel awesome.
I don't know. I guess I've just accepted this series for what it is, and I'm not expecting more than that.
Ghost Game has blackpilled you. I have the idea of Ghost Game being a better show.
I don't know what that means. Ghost Game has been, okay, we do our plot thing in one episode. And it's like, okay, so that's what I expect. Like,
oh man. Should we take a second to talk about Sirius Mon himself for a bit?
Sirius Mon's freaking great. We looked at the pixel art for it, and it's like, okay, it looks pretty cool from this. I can't tell like what the details are.
Oh man.
So Sirius Mon is wielding a pair of guns that flip out to be swords, and these things are awesome.
Man, you're gonna really hate me for this.
You think it's dumb?
I think the big goofy gun hands are really dumb. I think they make the design look too bulky and they just stand out too much, and they're kind of like they're okay, but I'm not feeling them, you know?
I like it. I like it. I like it a whole lot. Like as someone who's like several times been like, oh, I hate when they don't have actual hands and their hand is just like a weapon or whatever, so they couldn't do anything other than fight.
Yeah.
Which, okay, whatever. It's a Digimon's ultimate, like, strongest form. It makes sense that's how it is. But like, Omnimon is annoying to me because like they have no hands. He has a big sword and a gun on his hand. This is symmetrical, at least.
Alright, so this is going to be my hottest take of the series, probably. Because it's like, thinking about and just thinking it through, I think Weissmon should have been the Mega. I think, like, if this was the ultimate as, like, an extension of, like, Beetle Gammamon being more humanoid, and they went full dragon, I think that would have been cooler. I think Weissmon is a better design.
I disagree, because Weissmon is just a dragon.
Yeah, but he's a really cool, like, glowing star dragon, and he's awesome.
I don't. I mean, he's cool, but to me, he just looks like a dragon. This looks more like a Mega to me, like based on every other main character's like Mega form. It's like
I miss the black flames. Those were so cool, though.
I don't know. Just like I said, this feels more like the Mega form.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue. It's like, hey, disagree with you one. I'm just like, as look at this, I think the hands are goofy. I think they make it look too bulky. I'm just, I'm not feeling it, I think what we had before was like a better, more caps in the chat. No, that's fine. Give me all the L's you want. I'll take them.
Yeah, I think Sirius Mon is freaking sick.
Oh man, he's okay, He's not my favorite Mega form for a protagonist. Not by a long shot.
I like that it's not just it's like, oh, he's got gun blades, and you think Final Fantasy gun blades or something. But it's like, no, he has guns that have swords on the undersides that flip out and extend to be big swords.
Yeah.
I don't know. This thing is awesome.
I like the design, but it's not my favorite, yeah. Here's the weird thing, it's I was looking in the comments, and it feels like, there's, not a, small amount of people who don't super disagree that, it's kind of a weak design. I feel like it's still the minority, because of course, but it's yeah, I was seeing people also complain that it feels too bulky, the gun hands are a bit goofy,
I don't know. I really like it. I really like Sirius Mon. I think he's super cool.
Oh man. All I'll say is that, the other designs that I've, seen and been spoiled on look way better, I think.
I'm waiting to see anime appearances because pixel art can only tell you so much.
Listen, I am so ready to, finally get the episode where, Angoramon goes Mega. Because that one, oh boy, that one looks sick.
I want to see Dark... whatever Gulus Gammamon evolves into. I want to see that.
Yeah, the freaking whatever it was, the Dark Dragon. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's probably gonna be my preferred mega, just immediately. Just, if all it is just like we took Kale Weismon, made him black, and gave him more weaponry, I feel like that's perfect. Like, I feel like that's going to, like, kill it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Red seemed
Like,
to love, but teach their own. Oh, yeah.
yeah, like it's like if I already like Sirius Mon and people are like, yeah, we don't know, and it's like I don't know if we'll get the Dark Evolution version. That's like, oh heck yeah, because the
Yeah.
Dark Evolution is almost always cooler.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think the fusion form, if we get, will be the better final form. Yeah. I'm really curious how that's gonna, like, work out, because it's like, I think I saw it, or at least, like, you know, pixel art or something of it, and that looks nutty. That's gonna be weird. But yeah. Man, how crazy is it that, like, every single thing we were thinking of for, like, how the foul evolution could happen is more interesting than how it actually happened. Every
I don't
single
remember.
idea we had.
I don't even remember what we came up with, but I'd believe it.
Cause, like, yeah.
I'm not going to argue that it's kind of a weak motivation for the mega to happen, but like, I don't know. I didn't expect, like, despite the
Yeah.
fact that we came up with stuff earlier, I didn't really, at this point, I didn't expect it to be better than this.
That's the thing. It's like, it's kind of lame, and you're like, your expectations are like through the floor because of
Rock
everything
bottom.
that, yeah, and that's not a good thing. I'm sitting here, it's like, oh, better. This show will be good.
Yeah.
Man, main through
And three
fuse,
feet.
it takes more after Gammamon forms. Yeah. That's the whole thing. We had the
Yeah.
whole, like, fusion theory, right? Where we were like, oh yeah, what if, like, Espamon is gonna, like, you know, go up and,
Right.
like, go ultimate, and then they'll fuse into the Mega, and that'd be, like, a really cool thing. Because we were like, oh yeah, Espamon's also, like, a space-themed, like, astronaut thing, seemingly. You know, like,
Yeah, and
what if they're like, yeah...
everybody is being shown in the credits with like a little like with one of the side Digimon friends.
Yeah, and we were like, oh, what if, you know, like, freaking Lemortmon just fuses with Ryutamon, and they, like, you know, he becomes, like, a knight, and Ryutamon's, like, the sword or something, and we had, like, a whole thing with it.
I thought for sure after the whole samurai thing with Simba and Goramon that that's where that was going.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that it's like, oh, and Goramon is into like samurai stuff. All right.
Yeah, this is
Hey,
interesting.
look at
This might
this.
go somewhere.
Yeah, hey, look at this Digimon that shows up that can turn into a katana.
I wonder if Ghost Game will do something cool and have content. Nope. Alright, well, guess I
No.
had my expectations too high then. Why'd I think that, like, you know, they would actually do something that doubles as a Chekhov's gun? Ever.
I'm still mad at Ryutamon evolving into doing nothing.
Yeah, he evolved into a taxi just to get replaced by the taxi they already had immediately.
Yeah, didn't they?
Immediately.
Yeah, Airdramon was brought in a recent episode, wasn't he? Like last week, even.
Yeah, he was a taxi once, and every single instance since then, we've actively seen him not be the taxi.
Yeah.
Holy crap, Ghost Game.
Yeah, see that, and that's where I'm at. It's like, oh yeah, I like this episode, and I like the evolution, and I think everything, the big moment is cool and everything, and it's like, my expectations are very low at this point.
Yeah. We're at the point where it's like, alright, I feel Ghost Game stars from trying to be too different for our shows. The interviews with the team on how it always brings up how they wanted to handle the show differently. I think sometimes not breaking a formula is all that isn't all that bad, with it of a twist to make it unique. I think I get what you're saying, yeah.
Digimon works better as a like a narrative Like, not a monster of the week thing, but it's like a continuing story and characters grow and everything. It works way better that way.
Well, if we took Digimon and we took out all the continuity and, like, the carryover that people liked from the show, and we just made it a Monster of the Week series with kind of boring mysteries where nothing happens.
Yeah.
But at least it's got really good animation and some cool fights and stuff, you know? At least it looks good.
At least it looks good.
This is so the opposite of Digimon Sabers right now. Because Sabers is like, listen, we have no money, but screw it. We're gonna give you characters and we're gonna promise and, like, deliver on stuff. We're gonna make promises and hopefully give you good character dynamics. This is like, hey, we got all the action, don't worry about it, nothing matters. You can skip a month, come back, you miss nothing.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, they have a new Digimon form, but it doesn't matter, whatever.
How do you feel about the new song? I liked it as being overwhelmed, made you go meh. I like the new song a lot, actually. I think it's, like, hype as heck. I really dig it, yeah.
I'm always down for new evolution gets a new theme. That's part of why I like the 2020 reboot so much, is, like, every level of evolution has its own theme, and all of them are great.
Man, freaking just... Like, both the theme we had before and this one are both, like, fantastic. This show's killing it with the insert songs.
Yeah, they usually do.
That's the thing, it's like, it's so good, but it's also like, damn it, I just wish they had, like, actual good writing for this, you know? I wish they actually had the presence of mind to, like, you know, just take a little more time and make things actually feel important. You know, I wish this actually felt like it meant something instead of just being like, you know, a bland, straightforward power-up, you know? There's McCake, which means opening or dawn. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Also freaking Breakquazar.
Yeah. At this point, it's obvious that it's like they're just fusing words together in awkward ways to make attack names.
Yeah, that's Japan for ya. That's anime, baby.
Breakquazar. Breakquazar's not bad. It has the same feel as Breaklaw.
Nor forget the best fused attack name, Alexecution, which is electric execution.
Who does that?
It's in Bleach in the final arc. Someone uses Alexecution.
Sick.
But yeah, we have Breakquazar, freaking Photon Shot, and Cosmo Blade.
Yeah, I like the two attack names that are just like, yeah, cool attack names, and the Breakquazar.
Yeah. I think the Arch will have themed Evo episodes like always. Yeah, it's like, as usual, Hero's Evolution episode will be the weakest out of everyone's.
Yeah, Hero is a boring protagonist.
It's such a shame, because it's like, oh yeah, he started out like, yo, it's like, oh yeah, we have like a really smart, knowledgeable, like, yo, like kid, and he has a space-themed Digimon. So it's like, okay, yeah, this works, there's like something here, and he kept not getting enough character episodes, and just kept being shafted as a protagonist. And now it's just like, man, Hero's kinda boring, huh?
Yeah, Hero is shown as like the kid with like street smarts, and then Kyo showed up as the book smarts character.
Kyo showed up as the one who actually has character flaws that does things and has all the good episodes.
Yeah, and he has like mystery to him that probably isn't going to go anywhere.
If that actually goes somewhere, I will be amazed. That's gonna be like, you know... Should we even talk about the cliffhanger they give us, where it's like, yo, Gammamon says a thing, and it's like, that's going nowhere. It's gonna be like one thing, and it's literally just gonna be like, yo, we're just gonna randomly have an episode where like an evil Digimon just shows up, and they're like, I'm the one who's been sending people to the human world, and there'll be zero elaboration, and it'll just be like as pointless as like, you know, like calling it out or whatever. It'll be like they'll just show up and get beat in one episode, and it'll just be, you know, wow, this was so random and nothing that, like, it doesn't even matter that we foreshadowed it for once.
So, what Kusuhumon says is that somebody is sending the Digimon to the human world. My guess, it's Hero's dad.
Yeah, here's the thing, that'd be the absolute dumbest, most, like, boring answer, and that means it's the one they're going to go for.
Yeah, it's Hero's dad. He's sending the Digimon to the human world, not realizing that they're going over there and causing a crap load of trouble. Like, he's not even doing it maliciously.
Yeah, he's just accidentally saying things that make them want to go. And Kazuhamon's like, oh, but don't you know that, like, yo, was this in the calculations of the one who sent us here? And it's like, yeah, it's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be so nothing.
Yeah, it's Hero's dad.
The biggest plot twist is when you think the story will be good and then nothing happens.
Also, like, usually it's something I complain about, and it's like, man, they do spend too much time. It's like, oh, what's going on? It's like it's a Digimon, guys. Something weird is happening. It's a Digimon.
Oh man,
why is everybody at the dorm so obsessed with cleaning all of this? It's a Digimon.
Can we just acknowledge that Kazuhamon actively erased everyone's memories, which means this is the only time they've acknowledged? That's the thing, it's like, that's just even more frustrating to me, because it's like, oh, so they don't remember all the R stuff, but this thing they'll remember? Screw off.
Yeah, no, they won't remember this one. At least for once, they explain it.
Jeez.
Because this had to happen. This was literally the whole city.
This show has balls of Hero's dad turns out to be evil.
No, he's not going to be evil. He's doing it unknowingly. It's bad and he doesn't know it.
Such a great mystery. I wonder, you know, why did Hero's dad disappear? Why are Digimon going to the human world? Oh, it could be anything. It's like, nah, he has teleported himself to the digital world and he just keeps saying stuff without thinking. That's all we're gonna get. Yeah. That's all we've got in like 56 episodes.
Do you care anything about the story of the newest Pokemon game, Scarlet and Violet?
No, do it.
Okay, spoilers for the main antagonist of Scarlet and Violet. It's the professor of that respective game.
Of course.
So I got the one where it's the professor who's obsessed with the future, and playing through the climax, it makes more sense that way. But anyways, so the professor that you're talking to has been dead for seemingly a few years, and what's been speaking with you is an AI-controlled robot that looks like them.
Okay.
And what it is there's a time machine. They built a time machine, and it's like, okay, depending on your version, we found past Pokemon or future Pokemon to bring to present, and that's the goal of the scientists. It's just like, yeah, let's just bring these future/past Pokemon to the present time and just let them loose, completely regardless of the damage that might cause to the ecosystem or whatever.
Yeah, Pokemon's never cared about the ecosystem.
Yeah, and it turns out, yeah, if you let these like crazy robot Pokemon from the future run amok on the surface, they're going to cause problems. And that's why you have to stop it. So you go deep down into where the time machine is, and the AI is like, all right, you have the thing to turn it off. If you try to turn it off, I'm going to be overwritten and I'm going to attack you.
Jeez.
And you have to battle the professor with a team of future Pokemon.
Okay, that's kind of fun, actually.
And every single one of them is in a Master Ball, and they like fall out of the time machine to him.
Alright, that's actually pretty good, yeah.
It's probably the best story in a Pokemon game I've played.
Don't find Pokemon game stories all that compelling. I actually usually like the anime more, surprisingly. They actually act like people because they can write, unlike Game Freak. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well that's what I liked about it. It's like the antagonist isn't somebody that's been running around and it's like they're obviously the bad guy or whatever. It's the helpful professor character that you've talked to, not face to face, but like over screens and whatever throughout your adventure. And it's like, hey, okay, cool. Like it's not like a super obvious twist. And they kind of like slowly hint at it that the professor you've been talking to has been dead for a while. And like no voice acting has failed this game because there are moments that would have been way better with voice acting, like entire cutscenes where you just have to read it as dead silence is in the background, and it's like, boy, this emotional moment where this character you interact with finds out that his mom slash dad is dead and has been for several years, and they're a parent who has neglected their son even before that. Like,
yeah.
Gee. And then like and there's a moment like you beat the professor and like their final like their future Pokemon. And it's like, okay, you did it. Everything's going to succeed now. And then you try to shut it down, and it's like, oh, okay, nope, there's another backup protocol. Like the professor was so obsessed with this idea of bringing these like they call them paradox Pokemon,
Okay.
with bringing them into the present day, that they were just like, no, all the fail safes, kill anyone who tries to break in here. Like they were crazy and obsessed with this, and it's like something they do is just like, yeah, lock down everybody's Pokeballs who aren't the professors.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's you throw out your Pokeball to fight, and it gets locked down with like a chain thing, and it's like, oh, you can't do anything. You can't fight. You can't use your items. There's nothing to use your items on. What do? Oh, you got the legendary in the beginning of the game, and it belonged to the professor.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just like, yeah, go. And it's been sitting at the bottom, like, you can only have 6 Pokemon in a party, but the legendary's been sitting at the bottom of that party, not registered to your party the whole game.
Yeah.
And like it's just something you never could interact with until this moment. And it's like, okay, yeah, there we go. We let out the legendary and battle his. Which, by the way, there were 2. So your legendary that you got, and then there was another one that came through of the same species when the first one did, and like
like the other one, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to do a mirror match with the other one.
Okay, that's fun. Okay, but yeah.
I don't know. That's like, what was even my point was?
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I've forgotten at this point. Kind of, is something about like the
professor was evil.
Yeah, that's it. A character negligently sending things to another location, not knowing the harm they're causing. But like, I don't know. It's loosely the same idea.
I'll point out that at this point in One Piece, by episode 56, they finished the Logtown arc. At this point, like, everyone had beaten Buggy. We got freaking Nami on our team, dealt with Arlong, did the whole Sanji arc, made friends with, like, Zepp and everything, like, went out, fought Buggy again, set up, like, Monkey D. Dragon, and everyone was, like, off on their way to the Grand Line.
Can't believe there's a character named Monkey D. Dragon.
Yes. Literally. Oh man, One Piece has solved the dumbest names. I love it. Dude,
Yeah,
the current arc is literally on an island called Egghead because it's like about science and it's about a scientist.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right up there with what I would expect from One Piece.
Oh man. Meanwhile, in Ghost Game, going to the digital world sounds scary. Oh, what if we need food or supplies though?
I can't even make fun of One Piece too much. I love Mob Psycho 100 and everything's named after food. Seasoning
Man.
City, it's like Paprika High School or something.
I didn't even like get that until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, everything's named after food.
Is Reagan Ragu?
I don't think the characters are named after
Okay,
food.
yeah, alright.
It's the locations. It's like I think there's a salt somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Salt Mill School or whatever. Mob Psycho 100 is goated. It's so good.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh man, apparently the last episode of season 3 came out today. I'm like really excited to watch that. Holy crap.
Yeah, I gotta catch up because the last thing I saw was the end of the giant broccoli arc.
Yeah, I won't spoil anything, but if this is the final season, then the thing they're ending off on is like the most perfect way they could have ended the show.
Oh boy.
Like, this feels like this is exactly what the ending needed to be to, like, resolve everything.
I'm going, don't confirm or anything. I'm going to assume that Mob will lose his powers.
Interesting assumption.
Or it could go the exact opposite direction and he becomes a god.
Jeez.
That would fly in the face of what that series is about.
Nah. We can't have, like, Mob, like, becoming just freaking God Emperor of the planet. That's a bit like, yeah.
Yeah. I knew that was super unrealistic the moment I said it. It's like, no, that's the exact opposite of the message this series is about.
Although, no, I won't spoil anything. Oh,
Dimple.
man. Freaking Dimple.
Dimple becomes a god.
He
Kind of
does. Kinda.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so good. And just the ugly monkey shirt having payoff.
Holy crap.
Oh, it's so good.
That's the wildest thing about that. It's just like, oh yeah, it's this top of the line fashion thing. It's like, look at this shirt. And apparently, I don't know. I think it's just that I already forgot what Blondie's name was. But I'm not sure if he was just lying. No, he's not lying to
everyone's
Shigeo
just sort of like, you know what, you picked it out. Yeah, it looks okay. Yeah, it'll work, I guess. And they're kind of being like, yeah, they're trying to like respect his feelings and like, yeah.
I think I think Blondie just has really bad taste. Because literally everybody else is just like, huh, that's the shirt you went with, huh?
I'm sure it'll work out, Mom. Yeah, I'm sure you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Just
Reagan.
Maybe wear a jacket.
Yeah, I like that Reagan's just like, sure you don't want to put your jacket back on? I think it had higher defense stats or something like that.
Oh, man, it's so good.
Also, I've been watching the dub.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I love the buildup of like Mob's first like percentage thing is like how full of himself he is.
Yes.
And like every time something inflates his ego, he gets like handsome Squidward face, but he still has the dumb bowl cut.
It's so good. Oh, it's so... Man, I'm so excited for you to get to the second arc, because it's like, it's way shorter, but there is just a moment where I just lost it so hard.
That's oh man. I don't know. I might watch more after the podcast.
It's a really good payoff.
I bet. I don't doubt it. I love Mob Psycho.
So yeah, anything else we really want to say out this episode? Oh right, yeah, Kazuhamon tries to like murder literally everyone in the city and she gets away with it. Cool. We did this again.
Right, yeah, everybody's like a wooden doll and then she tries to burn them away because impurities or some crap.
Cool. I'm glad we're not killing Digimon who are clearly evil and trying to like wipe out entire towns for no reason.
Well, I don't know. At least Kazuhamon seemingly isn't going to try this crap again. Like, unlike Bastimon, who seemed to imply that she might try her crap again in the future.
Yeah, Bastimon had like zero remorse at all for making those people dig their own graves.
Yeah, Bastimon should have died.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'll ever get over the fact that we had an episode where like a Digimon controlled like a bunch of people and made them dig their own graves.
Yeah, some of the evil Digimon that just get off scot-free in this are I can't.
Remember when Piedmon turned everyone into cards for his collection and he's like, okay, welp, you beat me, so I guess you get the cards back. See you around, and he left to just do the same thing again later.
Yeah, because like why would Piedmon not just go somewhere else and start building his card collection again?
Yeah.
It's like it's clearly all he wants to do.
I'd hate this episode, but it needed more to be super special outside of God tier animation. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Think the next Mega's coming in the middle of next month. Hope for a better Digimon series in the future. Later. See ya.
Yeah, later.
Do we have anything else to say? I don't know, man.
On the next episode, Lilithmon.
Next episode, if like, God, this is the weirdest because we've been fighting ultimates the entire time, like non-stop, and now the second that we have like a Mega Digimon, we're going to be fighting like all the Megas, and nothing but Megas are gonna be showing up for no reason. This is gonna be the weirdest crap.
Yeah. Who else was in the preview? I saw Lilithmon. I recognized her, but there was another Digimon I didn't quite recognize.
Cerberusmon, who is an ultimate.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we tried to make the show it's different. Let's clearly evil Digimon go away. That's pretty different, I guess.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if, like, in Digimon Adventure, we stopped Devimon, and the kids are like, okay, well, just don't mess with us again, and they just left to another island, and Devimon was just, like, just fine. He was just sitting there with, like, his minions, just like, oh, alright. I'm just gonna start the Black Gear thing again.
Yeah. I guess the bad Digimon doesn't always have to die, because Beelzebub, like, one of my favorite things about Tamers is that Beelzebub gets his whole redemption arc because he wasn't killed.
Here's the thing, though, is a Digimon in this series ever going to get a redemption arc? Like, ever?
Like, they might show up in the final episode for whatever the big bad is.
You know what? I'll actually go back on that a bit. You know what? Mummymon's been redeemed. Mummymon, Clockmon, sure, why not? Yeah, but it's not really as much of an arc as much as it's like, you know, like, yeah, we just won them over, and then they were just good guys now.
Yeah. Kazuhamon says, we'll meet again, and I audibly said aloud, which is a redundant statement, sorry, yeah, I said out loud, will you? Will you meet again? I don't believe you.
She's literally just gonna show up in the final episode and be like, oh, hey, we meet again. And, it'll just be to, like, sit on the sidelines and cheer everyone on with the other Digimon.
Yeah.
Think stuff like Clockmon works but sometimes it's too much. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sure, we'll meet again. Sure.
Yeah, Clockmon didn't, to my knowledge, actually kill anybody, and his effects were reset once he was defeated.
Yeah.
And, okay, nobody died from Bastamon, but she was very clearly trying to bury victims alive.
At least Clockmon and Mummymon became allies, and they've been actively, helping people, right?
Yeah.
They had their thing, and it's like, you know what? No, we're gonna make up for this. And you know what? Fair enough. I'm way less judgmental on evil Digimon getting away with it if they're going to actually be helpful after that point.
Yeah, and in Mummimon's case, he wasn't even evil. He just misunderstood the medical procedures.
Mummymon was the best one of these.
Technically, he was trying to help.
Yeah, he just didn't know what he was doing. Which, you know what? Fair enough. Yeah, we showed him the right way, and now he's doing the good things.
Clockmon was a scumbag, but again,
he didn't deserve to die.
Yeah,
well, he kind of did, but still, yeah, we reset everything. It's good.
Yeah, he comes back and causes problems, and then they save him, and he's like, okay, I'm sorry. And it's like, all right, nobody died, you're fine.
Star of the show is super promising. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I should probably mention on the big chart just the fact that Kuzuhamon's like, oh, hey, here's a bit of plot information, means I have to put it under the, plot section, even though I kind of don't want to, because nothing happened.
You might want to put it under recurring Digimon if her other statement is true.
Listen, I'll get to it for now, but we'll see how true that stays.
Yeah. At the end of the series, when she doesn't show up again, you can remove it.
Yeah, that'll be fair. Oh man. So yeah, anything else we really want to say?
No, I think I'm all done with this.
I am all Digimon out for the day. Now to go and screw around with the card game.
This is a long one, huh?
Oh yeah, this is 2 hours. I had a lot to talk about with this one. Both this and Savers. This is a lot of thoughts on this.
Yeah, it doesn't help that it went off on a stupid long tangent about Pokemon.
It's fine, it's fine. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys around.
Yep, later.
Later.